How much money do you actually need to get started trading? I'm going to answer that for you right now. So there are a lot of opinions on this topic, and mine is probably more controversial than anybody else's. I look at trading pretty much different than the rest of the world does. Definitely different than the rest of the YouTube communities out there do. I think that trading is a skill that you're going to use for the rest of your life. It's not so much looking at a dollar amount when you get started. So if you're going and looking at trading channels and they're saying you're going to make X number of percent this year, 400% this year, 1,000% this year, that's totally ridiculous. That's not sustainable. Can you do it for a year? Absolutely, you can do it for a year, but it's absolutely not sustainable. I look at trading as a skill that you're going to use for the rest of your life. I look at it like you're going to college. So you're going to college and you're taking all these nonsense classes and you're just throwing your money away for no reason, and you get nothing out of it at the end. Well, with this, you're going to learn a skill that you're going to be able to use every weekday for the rest of your life. So really, how much money do you need to get started with trading? My answer is really zero. I mean, of course you need some money to get going. It could be $50, it could be $100. It doesn't need to be much. So when I say zero, I'm going to an extreme, but it's a very minimal amount of money. Why? Because first of all, you can start paper trading. You need to paper trade first. You need to learn this skill and hone in before you actually start trading real money. Because when you start with real money, it gets very emotional. Money, even seeing your account go up or down one single dollar is going to make you emotional. You probably are looking at me right now saying, that's crazy, it's only $1. I promise you, the first time you start trading and you see it going up and down in any amount, any dollar amount, you are going to feel some type of way in your stomach, and that is what you need to learn how to control. So I say to people, you really need to start paper trading, but when you start getting going, trade with $50. See how it goes. And for those of you that have $50, if you're tuning into this and you're a 20-year-old kid, 25-year-old kid, 30-year-old kid, I'm looking at you saying, okay, you might have $50 now, but you want to do something that is going to better yourself. Eventually, you're going to have $50,000. Eventually, you're going to have $100,000. Eventually, you're going to have $500,000. I would rather you learn how to do this right now than get $500,000 in your pocket at some point in your life. Say you're 45, 50 years old and you get $500,000 and you've never traded before. Now you're sitting down saying, okay, well, now what do I do with all this money? Now what do I do with all this leftover money? Now I'm going to go learn how to trade. Well, why don't you just learn how to trade now so you have 20 to 25 years to make yourself better, probably make yourself a lot more money, and you're going to get to a point and say, okay, I have $500,000 now. This is easy. I've already traded with 50,000. I've already traded with 100,000. Now I'm trading with 500,000. It really doesn't make much of a difference because you have that skill. You've been doing it for so long. And that's the big part about all of this trading to me. It's about learning a skill that you can do repeatedly for a long period of time to make yourself better. It's not so much about the dollar amount returns in the beginning. If you have $50 and you return 1%, that's fantastic. Don't look at it as saying, oh, I just made a couple of dollars per share. No, don't look at it that way. Look at it as I made 1%. If you go and make 50% on a $50 trade, you made $25. Really doesn't make much of a difference in your life, but you made 50% on a trade. That's fantastic. Eventually, you're going to be making 50% on trades that you have $250,000 into. So you're probably saying right now, okay, that sounds great, but how do I learn how to do this? I have a Patreon community that teaches you how to do this. And I'm not promising you any types of returns off the bat. I'm promising you that if you learn my process and you stick to my process, you are going to do very well. There's no doubt about it. If you don't deviate from these rules, you will do very well. I'm doing very well, and we have so many other people in this community that are doing well. It's in the link in the description below. It's $25 a month right now. It gets you a trading series that you can go through. It gets you the chart setup that you can go through. And most importantly, it gets you access to me and other members of the community so that you can learn how to control that emotion when it truly comes down to it. That is going to be a big part of it. Doing stuff from the technical side is great, but being able to control the emotional side is really where the money is made. Now, let's just take a look at my charts real quick, because a lot of you that are watching this are probably beginners. And you might look at this and say, whoa, that's a lot of stuff on there. Guys, I promise you, if you go out there on YouTube and you start looking around, this is so minimal to what's out there, because my motto in pretty much every single thing in my life is keep it simple, stupid. You don't need, especially in money. People try to overcomplicate it. They want to sound smart. I don't care how smart I sound or how dumb I sound. All I want to do is make money, and that's what this chart is all about. This is my long-term chart over on this side. This has two indicators on it, guys. It has a stochastic, or you'll hear me frequently refer to it as a trend, and it has candlesticks. And that's it. There is nothing else over here. When it comes down to this is actually Micron. This is a trade I'm in right now. You can, if you wanted to, you can take this and get rid of these candles because I don't care about them anymore. All I care about is the trend. Candles get me into a trade, but that's all they do for me. I don't pay attention to this. I got into this around $127. It's at $88 right now. I'm running it down, and all I care about is the trend. You come over to this chart. It's a little bit more detailed. You notice the squiggly line at the bottom? This is my daily stochastic. It's a little bit different than here. These candles are exactly the same. One-day candles, one-day candles. These are just mirrors of each other. You notice I have some volume down here. That's what drives the market. I'll talk in other videos about volume. You'll hear me say that a lot. And then, of course, I have my moving averages, 25, 50, 100, and 200. And these just give me reference points of where the market is in relation to the price changes over the last X number of days. It's really, really simple. Those are my charts. That's it. There's no Fibonacci lines. There's no this. It doesn't matter to me. All I care about are these few things, and this is how you can make a ton of money trading and how I have over the past 21 plus years. So guys, I hope you join me. I made another video on chart setup. You can replicate this exact chart that I made. It's in this video right here. It's so simple. Go check it out. You're going to love it.